Welcome in everybody, Josh here at 8-Bit Goonies for Crypto Goonies News. Today, got some interesting stories I want to cover. Just going to try to cover the the big stories of the day, and came across a couple good ones that I'd like to share with you. Some good news and some bad news, as there always is in the crypto world. I guess the first of the bad news is that the markets are down yet again today. Hopefully we see some recovery out of that soon. Hopefully, maybe this will spark some of it. So, gold market, Mulling blockchain to secure $200 billion worth of supply. So, basically, this article is that the London bullion market is it's the world's biggest spot gold market. They're looking to do basically what they do with diamonds now. So, trace from origin to market the whole chain of command of gold everywhere it goes. So basically, blockchain can't be ignored. This is the head of the London Bullion Exchange. He said in an interview on Monday, they're trying to understand how the blockchain can help us address the risks and impacts. Basically, they want to stop the black market, funding of terrorism, etc. So we see here where all of the gold usually ends up. Most of it goes into jewelry. Big portion goes into investments, and then small portions go into electronics, central banks, etc. So as they're saying here, market commodities from crude oil to diamonds and even tomatoes are looking at using blockchains, as we've seen with Wabi, which I think is a great currency I will talk about in one of these videos coming up. So yeah, they want to track from origin to, so basically you know exactly every hand that that gold has gone through. So we see here the major suppliers of gold: China, Australia, Russia, the US, and then so many others. And that other is literally over double what China is, and it's hard to track all that gold. So basically they say that everything that ends up here, they want from to the refiner, needs to be tracked in a supply chain, regardless of whether it ends up in a large bar in London vault, a kilo bar shipped to the Far East, or a coin in a collector's hand. A lot of it's, as he says, is being done, but it's paper-based at the moment, time-consuming, labor-intensive, and as we've seen, very corruptible. You can change what's on paper. You cannot change what's on the blockchain ledger. So, just an interesting article. Who's going to be the ICO that's going to step in to take command of the gold market? I think this is a great opportunity and some real world use for blockchain here, which we need to see more of, and not just pipe dreams. Next article I came across that I found interesting is about Bitcoin itself. This is from the Next Web, but it's actually about the actual Bitcoin.com website. Basically, they're changing their marketing. Bitcoin is now saying, here's their original marketing, and it was fast peer-to-peer transactions, worldwide payments, and low processing fees. Well, that's kind of changed, and they've realized that. So basically, the new website now says peer-to-peer transactions instead of fast peer-to-peer transactions. As we've seen when we've tried to send Bitcoin from even to exchanges, whatever, long processing times. Worldwide payments, they've now changed to borderless payments. Basically saying that instead of going worldwide, now you can go from country to country. Not much change there. And then this is interesting. Low processing fees. We know that's not the case anymore. If you want to, for the casual investor, $100 on Coinbase, they go to move it to an exchange, they're paying $17, $19 fees. Well, you just lost all your profit. You got to make some serious money back to get that back. So low processing fees has now become fraud protection. So it's basically an admission from Bitcoin.com that we are no longer looking to be the world's currency so much as a world's store of value, a digital asset. That's good. That's what Bitcoin is. That's what it should be. And I think that's a move in the right direction. Next bit of news, some bad news, or take it as you will. but this is from the Quartz Media. South Korea will require real name crypto trading by end of this month. So Big Brother getting involved again in South Korea, and they're moving fast with these regulations. So today is January 23rd in South Korea. They're saying by January 30th, all investors must have the same name on their. Basically, no more private exchanges, no more hidden exchanges, no more hidden names. Your bank account must be the same as your crypto trading account name. The accounts have to be linked, they have to be ID'd, and they have to match. South Korea estimates that 20% of the global Bitcoin trades, and they're worried about, of course, that once again that there's shady business going on, tax evasion, money laundering, all of this. So the new regulations were first introduced at the end of last year, but now they're moving quickly to implement them, and they will be in place by the end of this year. So yeah, very interesting, moving quick to implement this. They talk about in here that the South Korean authorities raided 2 major exchanges. We heard about that, caused some FUD about a week ago, and now they're back in the news, possibly contributing to the FUD today. So which is fine. For my exchanges, I was, transparency. I had to put up my name, my ID for a lot of that stuff. So that's just the way we're headed. I know the whole. It's tough because we want to get away from these centralized police, but for the moment, we're going to have to stick with them. And as South Korea does this, I believe other governments will be soon to follow. And then the last bit of news is those dang bastards on Wall Street are out to get us, as they always are. Peter Bukvar, the chief investment officer at Bleakley Advisor Group, sees the potential for Bitcoin to drop to $1,000 to $3,000 over the next year. Basically, he says he doesn't really get it. That's kind of funny because that's what we always get from the mainstream media. It seems like I read every day. It's clearly not a crash, but every headline is Bitcoin crash, Bitcoin crash. They love to say how it's crashed. People are questioning whether Bitcoin fits the mold of a traditional bubble. Yada yada yada. Robert Schiller. But anyway, he has, South Korea, Japan, and the U.S. Now, one thing he does point out, and I think is very good, he says that the people that will be hit hardest by this are the people that have taken out loans or credit card debt to purchase these. Because obviously, when you're investing money that you can afford to lose, and you lose it, it's not nearly as big a deal as if you mortgage your house, or even if you take out a loan or a credit card debt against it to borrow it. So he's just saying that will be the people that are affected the most. And unfortunately, those are the people that kind of deserve it. I'm not saying you deserve it if you took out a loan or anything, but you shouldn't invest money you're not willing to lose. It's a risky market. It's the riskiest market in the world right now. Absolutely. He basically says Bitcoin is not something that really is relevant in a $19 trillion economy. That was his answer when they posed, if Bitcoin crashes, could it affect the economy? He says, no, it won't really affect the economy. The economy is too strong for that, but it will affect, he says, people have been taking out credit card debt in order to invest in cryptocurrency will be hit hard, and they certainly would. If it drops to $1,000 to $3,000, I see that as an amazing buying opportunity. Obviously, I hope it doesn't, because that's a major hit to everybody's portfolio, and it would absolutely destroy the altcoin market. Be very interesting to see. I'd still be buying. Price averaging down, but is what it is. So anyway, guys, that's the news for today. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow with some more news. Please like and subscribe below. Check out my other video. I got a great hash flare experiment going on. Dropped $1,000, a little over $1,000 into hash flare. I'm going to be keeping you posted on how that goes. Find out if it's legit, if it's a scam. I know a lot of people say both ways on it. I want to find out for myself. Come and join me. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.